Sometimes a mistake only affects you, setting back your own progress, but other times it doesn't just hurt your growth, it impacts everyone around you in the same industry. That's exactly what's happening with Boeing's Starliner program. This program's failures haven't just hurt Boeing as a company, they've set back the entire space industry. In today's video, we'll break down how the issues with Starliner led to a situation where 4 astronauts had to be rushed to the hospital after their return from space. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel for future updates on Starship, SpaceX, and other groundbreaking achievements in the space industry. NASA recently surprised everyone when all 4 Crew 8 astronauts who had just returned from the International Space Station were taken straight to the hospital. Usually, astronauts go through a basic health check after landing and then head home to recover. So seeing them all hospitalized right away raised a lot of eyebrows. Why did this happen? Surprisingly, the answer points back to something you wouldn't immediately connect: Boeing's Starliner spacecraft delays. The Crew 8 astronauts didn't travel on Boeing Starliner. They returned on SpaceX's Crew Dragon. But Starliner was supposed to be NASA's backup for crew rotations, and its delays have had a domino effect on NASA's scheduling. Here's how it all connects. The Crew 8 mission was originally set for 6 months, but Boeing's Starliner has been delayed so many times that it messed up NASA's rotation plans. With only SpaceX's Crew Dragon available to shuttle astronauts, NASA had to extend the Crew 8 mission to nearly 8 months until the next available Crew Dragon could take over. This longer-than-expected stay in space took a toll on the astronauts' health, which likely explains why NASA decided to send them to the hospital as soon as they landed. Staying in space for extra months might not sound like a big deal, but it actually has serious physical effects. Astronauts train for the usual 6-month mission duration, but when you add an extra couple of months, the body faces even more strain from zero gravity. Microgravity weakens muscles, reduces bone density, and affects blood circulation. NASA knows this, so the extended time in space probably meant that the astronauts' physical condition needed closer monitoring, which is why they were sent to the hospital after landing. Boeing's Starliner has been a project full of setbacks. Originally planned to be ready for regular missions alongside SpaceX's Crew Dragon, Starliner has run into multiple technical issues. In its first uncrewed test back in December 2019, Starliner had a software problem that kept it from reaching the International Space Station. More problems followed, such as valve malfunctions and thruster issues, leading to repeated delays. These delays meant that Starliner couldn't be used for crew transport when NASA needed it, leaving all crew rotations to rely on SpaceX. NASA's original plan was to have both SpaceX and Boeing as reliable transport options. This would mean consistent crew rotations, with one crew always ready to come back on time when the other launched. But Starliner's delays left NASA with only one option: SpaceX's Crew Dragon. This meant that missions like Crew 8, which were supposed to end on schedule, had to be stretched out. NASA couldn't afford to bring Crew 8 home early because Crew Dragon was already booked with other missions. So the Crew 8 astronauts stayed in space longer than expected, leading to the unusual step of hospitalization. The 4 Crew 8 astronauts may have been rushed to the hospital after their return, but NASA assures the public that there are no serious health issues. All 4 astronauts, despite the hospital checkup, were soon available for a press conference. However, this incident has brought different concerns into the spotlight. The health of 2 other astronauts, Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams, who have been stranded on the International Space Station far beyond their planned mission timeline due to ongoing delays with Boeing's Starliner. Wilmore and Williams were originally scheduled for a short 8-day mission to the International Space Station on Boeing's Starliner spacecraft, arriving at the station on June 6, 2024. However, technical malfunctions during docking, including issues with the Starliner's thrusters and helium leaks, prevented the spacecraft from being able to safely bring them back to Earth. NASA initially extended their stay on the International Space Station while Boeing worked to address these issues, hoping that a solution would come quickly and the astronauts could return home aboard Starliner as originally planned. But as the months went on and technical problems continued to surface, NASA ultimately decided it wasn't safe to bring Wilmore and Williams back on Starliner. The decision was made in August to send the Starliner back to Earth uncrewed, which happened on September 6, 2024, when it landed in New Mexico. With the Starliner out of commission, NASA had no choice but to rely solely on SpaceX's Crew Dragon for the safe return of astronauts to Earth. However, Crew Dragon's availability has been limited due to a full schedule of missions, resulting in further delays for Wilmore and Williams. NASA has since scheduled them to return to Earth aboard SpaceX's Crew Dragon as part of the upcoming Crew 9 mission, which is expected in February 2025. The prolonged stay on the International Space Station has raised concerns about Wilmore and Williams' health. Recently released photos of Sunita Williams show her looking noticeably thinner and gaunt, a sign that prolonged exposure to microgravity and possible calorie deficits may be taking a toll on her physical condition. According to health experts, extended time in space can lead to muscle atrophy, loss of bone density, and other physical challenges due to the microgravity environment, which disrupts the normal body processes. Dr. Vinay Gupta, a pulmonologist familiar with the effects of space travel on human physiology, commented that Williams's appearance in these photos could indicate a significant calorie deficit. In space, astronauts burn more calories because their bodies work harder to regulate temperature and manage other physiological demands. Although the International Space Station provides high-calorie foods, there are challenges in maintaining a balanced diet, which can further contribute to nutritional gaps and muscle atrophy over time. Boeing's Starliner program has also faced significant financial challenges. In 2014, NASA awarded Boeing a contract worth up to $4.2 billion to develop the Starliner spacecraft as part of the Commercial Crew program. In contrast, SpaceX received a contract valued at $2.6 billion to develop its Crew Dragon spacecraft. Despite receiving nearly half the funding allocated to Boeing, SpaceX successfully developed and launched Crew Dragon, completing its first crewed mission in May 2020. Since then, SpaceX has conducted multiple crewed missions to the International Space Station. Boeing's journey with Starliner has been fraught with setbacks. The first uncrewed test flight in December 2019 failed to reach the International Space Station due to a software anomaly. Subsequent attempts to rectify issues led to further delays and technical challenges. As of October 2024, Boeing reported approximately $1.85 billion in losses related to the Starliner program. In its third-quarter financial report for 2024, the company disclosed an additional $250 million charge attributed to delays in the crew flight test and increased costs associated with testing and certification. Reports indicate that the company is exploring the potential sale of its NASA-related operations, including the Starliner program and its support for the International Space Station. To address these issues and chart a new direction, Boeing has made leadership changes. In March 2024, Boeing appointed Kelly Ortberg as the new CEO, replacing Dave Calhoun. Ortberg, who has a strong background in aerospace, is reviewing Boeing's space program and weighing options, including the potential sale of the Starliner program. That's all for today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for future updates. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.